Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back to something a little bit different. This is sent in by an innocent bystander. You can see that it is a pure tier 10 battle, but this is a clan advance. Alright, so clan battle kind of idea with a caller, all with comms, and you can see that simp in a couple other, I don't know, what do you call them, mercenaries? I don't remember what they're called, but guys who can go along with them, basically. Mostly simp. Are running a lot of the meta tanks. So what do you got? You got some 277s. You got someone's running a 260. That's pretty funny. 111 5A. There's an IS-7. A couple 907s and a 140. The other team with a similar makeup, but a couple Type 5 heavies and some other slower guys. So we are here on El Haluf, and you'll notice that the entirety of their team, minus the T100 and the T92 HMC, have gone to one spot, and they find 3 tanks a little bit overextended here, and for some reason the enemy team has sort of lined tanks all the way up along the edge right here, which we'll see in just a minute, and it's going to go extremely poorly for them. You'll also notice that the 100 LT has found one of their mediums over here, so at least one of their mediums is nowhere near the rest of their glob, and this massive munching glob of simp guys is about to jump all over the first 3 tanks they find. There's a Kron up there doing his hold down thing. So let's watch how this thing develops. So again, note that the T92 is up there and the T100 back by the cap. So this is organized gameplay, and one thing you will find in organized gameplay is a bunch of focus fire. So these guys jump all over the first few tanks they find, and already the enemy team is down 2 guns. Now they get a little bit split up here. The 277 bails out and heads off that way, so there's probably a caller yelling, hey, somebody fall back and get rid of this dude. So down he goes. And you don't want 8 tanks chasing that guy, so there was probably a discussion about who's got it, and they sent a couple tanks and they take him down. And now you'll see that the Pac-Man is munching up the guys along here. Now, watch what's happening, though, with Simp's mediums. Watch what's happening with Simp's mediums. They've noted that the enemy 907 went down the hill and is headed away towards their cap. Obviously, you can be capped out on this, right? This is a standard setup. So the T100 did his job. He is only there to watch somebody attempting to fast cap or get to the cap. The enemy team is scattered all through here, which is not a really great idea right there. They do have a little trouble taking them down. I think what's really happened right about now, if it hasn't happened now, it's probably going to happen soon. There was definitely direction by the caller to send the mediums back to cover this act. They haven't seen any of the other mediums, by the way, so you'll find out. Obviously, they all show up there. So that direction was made, and it might have been that he unleashed the hounds up here because they're just really dogging these guys. If it hasn't happened yet, it's probably going to happen pretty soon. This gets a little close, but all according to plan, to be quite honest, because more than likely the plan was, hey, T100, let us know if they come. If they do, we'll fold back the appropriate amount of mediums who are fast, and we'll deal with what's threatening the cap. The enemy team, actually, their best chance to win this happens to be when they send their mediums up towards the cap. But unfortunately, what they do, and this is what bad players, organized players do, they probably saw that the route was in session over here against their heavies, and it looks like Innocent gets a little bit beat up pushing in there. They jump on the cap, right? There's a bunch of mediums try to get on a cap, and there's a artillery involved, and the 2 green 907s and the 140 and the T100s behind a rock giving them crossfire. I mean, it gets close-ish with 25 seconds, 24, 23, but it's never really in doubt. It really isn't ever really in doubt. Their jumping on the cap was just not a great idea. But they probably realize it's about their only chance right there, and I would imagine that you'll have to tell us, Innocent, whether the caller, if you remember, the caller said just, hey, swarm or whatever. But interestingly, they don't come close to winning, but they do start beating up some of these guys. They've kind of trolled up right here. The remaining tanks are playing fairly decently. It's just they're well outnumbered, and they're going to have a lot of trouble. There they go. So you see the 2 907s on the other side are dead, and they're about to track down the last 907. So this is really all over but the shouting. I didn't comment on Innocent's gameplay. He lost a couple hit points there in game. He probably didn't want to lose, but he does a really nice job on this E50M right here. The heavy he was fighting kept pinning him, and he kept bouncing. So it's just one of those things. Nice job of Split taking a little tiny peek, bouncing a shot, and thumping that E50M. The E50M decides, you know what, this sucks. I'm going to go chase this guy. So he attempts to go this way, but he gets a shot in the butt for his troubles. And Innocent just watches this guy go down to 30 hit points, and we'll just nice line up with a shot. Down he goes. So he got tracked, more than likely on purpose. That's what good players in organized gameplay do. They track things. They focus fire. They talk about who they're going after. They come after things at different angles, and Innocent survives that with 4 hit points. 4 hit points. And that is pretty much it. Looks like their artillery is way up there on the hill in the... Well, he might be in the town. Not really sure where he ends up. Let's find out where he shows up. The T-100s come back across. They won over there. Here comes the 140. Here comes the 907. Just to make sure. Probably coming in here trying to get any kind of hit points they can. But a really good example of organized clan team play right there with clearly a good team. Simp has a lot of good players. They do a lot of organized stuff. And they just roll up this poor team who just kind of never had a chance, to be quite honest, just the way that they deployed a couple 3 guys forward. And you'll find that with teams that aren't that experienced, or who are, how do I put it, I don't want to say necessarily scared, but who are know they're a little bit outgunned as far as skill goes. Sometimes they'll go very defensive, and I assume that they were attempting to just have this kind of defensive line along here, but once they got 3 guys wiped out here, it was pretty much over. Nice try on their part to try to get down there. It looks like the video is over since I've turned off the game. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for sending that, Innocent, and we will see you.